Hurricane Taylor.
Wait, where are all your masks?
This morning, I was walking through the hallway and I saw that same thing. I was like, hey, that must be our teacher's coffee.
Yeah,
I always drink coffee.
I'm going to be a play doctor for Halloween. It's perfect timing.
I'm gonna be like a hospital surgeon wearing the suits with a mask on.
Neat.
I know.
All right, Keela, please. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Where did you get your shoes? I like
These?
Oh, yeah.
Amazon. They're just jazz shoes. Miss Liz and I love teaching in jazz shoes. They don't hurt your feet.
No one goes to the mall.
Page 18. Now, when I told Miss Clark that we were going to start the next story, I did not even have to tell her which story it was. She said, oh, that's Hurricane Taylor. Oh, I like that one. Okay. So this one must be good. And I got to tell you, I liked like a book. I really did. Yeah, I really liked that one. Parker.
Are we going to
Excuse me. Parker, you missed your reading test yesterday. And okay, I have not been able to go in this morning and check all that. Do you feel comfortable? I was just going to say, can we schedule a time for you to do it? But were you comfortable going into it? Were you comfortable taking it? Everything was good?
Yeah, but I don't think I could really read it because it was hard for me to write with my finger.
I know. Okay. So everybody, listen up. There's a lot of show-me confusion in this grade. First of all, eventually Miss Clark and I are going to have to make sure you're in the right class because some people are joining everything. Okay. Also remember, Shobi is primarily there for virtual students, but you can become a virtual student like Parker did when he was absent. Does that make sense? And then you can feel like you're never really missing that much, okay? So next time that you might miss a day that you have a test with me, you can choose to do one of two things. Parker went ahead and chose to take the test on Shobi. But here's what I'm really fine with. Come on back to school, and you heard me about to ask Parker a question. Here was the question. Hey, when would be a good day for you for us to make up that test? Okay. And then we're going to find the perfect day for you. Can y'all go to page 18? We're going to be starting over here. Yes, sir?
I just wanted to tell, there is, I understand what you mean by color buttons with your finger and stuff. There's one button where you can just like press down on it and just use the keyboard that you have on your computer and then just type the word and you can move it around and make it bigger or smaller and stuff.
Cool. You know what? Or next time, y'all, I am just not that girl who is going to demand something back to me very quickly. Wait on me. We'll find a time. Okay? All right, we're going 18. We got to be fast. Yes, sir? Yes. Okay. All right, Leonidas, I'm sorry. Can you read, let's start on page 18. Let's see why Miss Clark is remembering this as being absolutely awesome. We've got Hurricane Taylor here. Our genre, our specific type, our kind of story happens to be one of my favorites. Mysteries are my favorites. We have an adventure story this time. Clearly one of Miss Clark's favorites. Now we know her genre. Okay? Yes, ma'am, because we need to start.
Okay, on the girl's back of her pants, there's a frowny face.
I know.
I see that now.
You're
Love
right.
it.
I know.
Leonidas, would you read one for us, please?
Hurricane Taylor, paragraph 1. The months following Taylor's father's departure for overseas duty had been stressful for the Browning family. Luckily, spring break arrived in the nick of time. Taylor's mom had some vacation days, so it was decided. Despite some warnings about a tropical storm off the southern coast, the Brownings were headed to the shore. They spent the week at her grandpa's charming cottage on a little bay off the ocean.
We're getting a little specific here with our setting this time, right?
Yep.
Okay. We know where we're going on a vacation. We're not quite sure of the when on our setting, but, we do kind of have an under what conditions right now. There's a hurricane coming. And y'all, we know, because we are basically in what's known as Hurricane Alley. We know what that's like. Okay? Yes, sir?
I love how they don't care that a hurricane's coming. They're just like, let's just go back.
Well, you know,
They're like getting crazy.
if you're a true South Carolinian and you watch the news and you see them coming off that beautiful cone of Africa toward our way and you watch it and you're like, it's just a category 1, we're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine. We might lose power, we're fine. We're good. Category 2, we might be like, hey honey, when you go to the grocery store, could you get some bread and water? Category 3, we're like, maybe we should do something to the windows in our house, like board them up. Category 4 or 5, it's like, hey, you want to go to Charlotte and kind of sit the hurricane out there? You know what I'm saying? But category 1, it's like, yeah, we got some rough weather coming. It'll be all right. All right, let's go to 2, please, Parker. Glad to have you back so we can hear your voice.
Taylor looked forward to spending time with her grandmother. He both loved to see. And lately he'd been teaching her how to say. What she didn't look forward to was having to look her 2 sisters around. Taylor didn't want to play babysitter. He wanted to learn how to knock around the bay in her grandpa's smallest wood sailboat.
All right, we've got another situation here. Did y'all catch the pronoun usage there? Taylor's a girl. Yeah, go either way, boy or girl. Taylor's a girl. She wants to hang out with her grandfather. She wants to learn some sailing things, right? Tying knots and stuff like that, which really are, it's pretty fun. She doesn't want to be bothered by her 2 little sisters. Are you feeling a little bit of Logan with Leo and Lester here? All right, sir, would you read paragraph 3 for me?
The family arrived at the cottage early on Saturday afternoon. As they unpacked the radio blared the latest news about the storm. The track it had been following was supposed to take it far to the north. Falling was supposed to take it far to the north. Now it seemed to be veering due west, directly toward the bait.
They don't make veering a vocab word, but I think they should. It's turning, and it's turning quite sharply, and it's headed right for them. Now let's see how they feel about it. Yes, sir? Yes. Jacob, could you read 4 and 5, because 4 is so itty-bitty?
Sounds like this one's got a mind of its own, her grandfather said. Better get this place set in case it keeps on this track. Mother Bob agreed. She got back in the van with the girls and drove into town for supplies. In the meantime, Grandpa and Taylor secured the storm windows. Taylor gazed out at the sailboat just for a look. Finally, a chance to go sailing with Grandpa, and now this. The boat's slim hull looked as vulnerable as an eggshell.
And vulnerable there is a vocab word for you. You see it there in bold print. Have y'all ever come across the word vulnerable before?
Yeah.
Yeah? When something is vulnerable, it could receive damage, right? It's not strong. It's vulnerable. There's something weak about it. Or, of course, you could use vulnerable to talk about a person. Yeah? Some of y'all might be more prone or vulnerable, say, to strep throat than others. Some of y'all might be more vulnerable to the flu. Yeah? Some of y'all might be really vulnerable to math homework.
I am.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Brayden, it's so itty-bitty. Could you read 6 and 7 for us?
Hey, Grandpa.
currently tied down to Santa. Grandpa loved his chum, not a bad idea. The storm could work all kinds of moves between the little,
Oh, wrestle. Yeah.
little boat up to under the cottage and lashed it down tight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Annabeth, could you do 8 for us, please?
Breathing hard, Taylor looked up to see the sky already getting darker. Her grandfather went back inside, but she walked down to the splintery old dock, as if summoned by the weird light over the bay. With her father away, who would take care of this dog? Her mom wasn't handy with tools. Grandpa was getting a little frail and wasn't as strong as he used to be. The breeze stiffened. The horizon turned a coal black. She ran back up the house.
Yeah, because we, of course, are meeting Grandpa. Then there's Taylor's mother who's going to get supplies. Remember, Taylor is the older girl. There's 2 younger sisters. The father, with what Leonidas read for us in paragraph 1, has been away for, what was that, maybe a few months. The months following, we're not quite sure how many. He's been away on overseas duty. Kind of sounds like a soldier, right? And now you had that vocab word, which I think everyone's going to understand. Splintery. Yeah? The dock, of course, is made of wood. The wood has been left out there to get wet and dry and get wet and dry and get wet and dry. So, like some picnic tables that you might sit on, you accidentally get a splinter from them. Yeah? Which, other than a paper cut, worst feeling. I've had 4 children, and a paper cut and a splinter that's real deep in there, that hurts.
Oh, you're trying to pop a pimple.
Or then there's that. No, I'm going for splinter.
Yeah,
I'm going for
splinter's
splinter.
worse.
I am going for splinter. Particularly the type of splinter when you think you got it, you're pulling it out, and then you only get part of it, and the rest of it stays
Oh
in.
yeah, that happened to me once, and it got my thumb that hurt so bad.
Oh.
Interesting story. Really gross one too. And I will tell you, as gross as it sounds, it works. Not just a splinter, but I got a splintery part of a seashell in my foot. You know how most people walk barefoot on the sand at a beach. So I got a piece of a seashell in my foot, and it started to become infected. And my mom was a nurse, my dad was a doctor. They're looking at it, trying to, do whatever they can. But it was pretty embedded in there. So, and I was slightly younger than y'all. So I was like hearing them talk. You can hear parents talk sometimes about you. And I was thinking, no way. Because they were saying I'd have to go someplace and have it kind of cut out. So even though my mom was a nurse and my dad was a doctor, my mom remembered what my grandfather did for her whenever she would get bad splinters, because she was just an outdoorsy girl. She'd always have something all caught up in her. Have y'all ever heard of, and it's okay if you haven't, but I am going to question your southernness if you don't know. Have y'all ever heard of fatback? Praise, amen, thank you. So what fatback is the fat back of a pig. And when you're around your grandmamas and your great-grandmamas and anyone who can cook right in your family, sometimes you got to fry up some of that fat back to put in your vegetables, in your greens if you're cooking them, put them in your peas when you're cooking them, yeah. So we took a piece of uncooked fat back that gets really gross, by the way, when it gets to body temperature. It's just jelly and smushy and then has that kind of really bad smell to it. I had to walk around this foot with, my mom had put a large piece of fatback on the seashell splintery part, and she wrapped my foot. I had to walk around with squishy fatback on the bottom of my foot, but you know what? It came out. The salt it was drawing it out. Yeah. The grease from the fatback softened it. The salt started pouring it out. So I don't know if you want to go there, but whenever anyone in your family or you has a splinter that's terrifically difficult to get out, get some fatback. That's all I'm saying. It worked. It did work. I did not have to go and like get
How
cut
long did it
and
take?
everything. It really took. It's been so long. I know it was more than a day though, because I mean, I still remember the squishy feel of warm fatback on my feet. Warm, raw fatback on my feet. Yes, sir.
I have two stories. So one,
Give us one right now though, okay? Because we gotta
Okay.
work.
So Mac was walking around and he stepped on something. He stepped like it felt like glass. Do you know what it was? It was his hair. He stepped on a piece of hair and it punctured his foot.
Hair?
Yeah.
Hair punctured his foot.
Yeah. A single
That's
piece of
crazy.
hair.
All right, let's get these and we gotta move on. Yes, got a little bit of work to do on this page.
My dad always cooks like fatback
Uh-huh.
and ribs. And if you have like just the right sauce, the fatback can taste like ribs, like really weird tasting, weird feeling ribs.
So
Yeah, it's squishy. It's mostly fat. Yeah, see now, and when you watch shows like Top Chef and other cooking shows like that, everybody in the world thinks it's so fancy to eat fatback or bacon. You know, they call it something, you know, in particular. And us Southerners are looking around going, y'all, that ain't new. That's fatback. That's bacon. Come on, give me a break. Bacon will work though, but the meat, you really need that fat part, that white streak of bacon. Yes, sir.
So, one time I was playing football at night. It was my friend's birthday.
Yeah.
We were playing at night with his light up football that he got,
That's cool.
and he went to try to go inside to get like some water,
Mm-hmm.
and one of his steps were loose. He couldn't see, so he accidentally stepped on it. One of his legs fell through that step, but before it did, it got a nail stuck in his foot.
Oh.
and then
Rusty nail, too.
Oh, I hope you had the tetanus shot then, right? Every 10, 11 years?
My friend had a nail stuck in his
Oh, oh. Is he okay? He's okay.
Don't you talk to me.
Yes, sir.
So, why do they put meat on their eye?
Oh, it does help it heal. A steak on an eye.
But like, what? How does it help?
Oh, we gotta look up the science of that.
I know.
But it does. I know that the really it's kind of the fat that helps soften the area. What do you know about that?
Yeah, if you
It works.
yeah, it's basically like an ice pack but better.
Like an ice pack, but better. Yeah.
Like Rocky.
If y'all get hit at my house or there's head injury, I always have a bag of frozen peas.
Yes,
You know, frozen peas. That's always a good one because they'll mold around the shape of whatever you got to put it on. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
So one time we were
Former cheerleader. Sorry.
so one time we were running one time we were running cattle in the swamp, and we
That is so scary to me. Okay, go ahead.
and we had and my mom, she had this cow chasing after her. We saw her already, but she had this cow chasing after her, and she was charging, and she had
Wait, your mom was charging or the cow?
the cow.
Okay, it would have been so much better the other way around. But go ahead.
She had to jump over a fence, and so she hopped on some wood with her shoe on, and she jumped over, and a friend helped the cow get into the pen. But when my mom checked, because she felt something like in a rock or something, it was a nail in her foot, and it would blood all over her shoe and in her sock.
Oh, you have to be real
And
careful.
she had to get a tetanus shot.
The tetanus shot, and that is the shot.
And my aunt watched me while she went to
Oh,
go
gotta
get
get you
tetanus
next time. You
shot.
already told us one. These three, and then that's it. Because we gotta get back. But y'all, whenever y'all have received shots from the doctor's office, the one that lingers and hurts even the day after, that was the tetanus shot. Yes, sir.
Not to absorb, but
Yes.
the first time I ever got a splinter, I was like 4, because our grandparents stopped. Well, they just got it really big, but if you couldn't walk out on spare feet, or else you would get like 10 splinters in your foot.
And that was your grandparents' doc,
Old doc, yeah.
just like Taylor. Okay, cool.
And then I was 4, and then I had a splinter back there, and my grandparents said wanted to try to get it out, and I wouldn't get it out. I wouldn't want to get it out because I was really little.
Uh-huh.
And then they said, I'll give you ice cream if you do it now. And then they said, I was like, yeah. And then I ate the whole thing of ice cream.
There you go. All right, last 3. You've already spoken, Chase. We'll have to get you later. Yes, sir.
I was at my friend's birthday party the other day,
Uh-huh.
and like he has like a really big family.
Mhm.
And and then there's this one baby that was there. He was 3 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he could walk and stuff. And he was walking around, and they had just moved to a new house, and now they have like a pool and porch there, and the baby was walking around on the porch, and the porch was made out of wood. And then whenever the baby didn't even do anything about it. And then the parents just went to go like play with the baby. They laid like a blanket on the picnic table that they have on the porch. And they went to go like play with it and stuff. And then they looked in the baby's foot. It had 5 splinters in its foot.
Dear. Can we get these 2 very quickly? Last 2, and then we got to do some work. Yes, ma'am.
So I know 2 shots that are left because of this shot on home and her the next day. A numbing shot for like numbing your gums,
Yes.
and also a shot for testing if you're allergic to something.
Oh, that's horrific. That is horrific, sweetie. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes, Kate.
I like turtles.
Okay, Kate. Hey, Cammie, that was so much. Are we on you right now? Yes, we are. Cammie, would you finish out the story for us, please? Can you read 9 and 10 for us? And then we're going to work these pages.
Things happened fast.
Thank you, sweetie.
Wind battered the sides of the house. Taylor could hear the windows flex under the pressure. Then all the lights went out. Taylor heard a yell, then a moan. In the dim light, she saw her grandpa on the floor, gripping his ankle, his face frozen in a painful grimace. Are you alright, Grandpa?
Oh, no. Okay, and a grimace, of course, you know, I mean, we have masks on, but it's a face you make when you're in pain, right? Oh, poor Grandpa. Okay, let's work it, all right? Get back to page 18. Let's take a look at A and see what we're going to do. It says, recite evidence. Details that stand out can give clues, of course, about a story's theme. Now, theme is, well, little kids will say that the theme is the moral, the lesson that we're learning from the story. The more and more, though, sometimes it's just the point that the author was trying to make. Why did the author actually write that story? So here's what I need for you to do. And this is, let's see, just going to be for page 18. Well, of course it is. It's going to be for one particular paragraph. Underline the detail in paragraph 1. Only go to paragraph 1 for me. That describes something that may later pose a challenge, which means it may later become a challenge for Taylor. Look for that sentence in paragraph 1. Yes, Chase? Oh, Chase, we're not doing stories right now. We're working. Okay, and I'd ask you to wait. Let's do this one. A. Okay? Only looking at paragraph 1. We are looking for something that may later pose a challenge, become a challenge for Taylor.
Ooh.
Hold up one sentence in paragraph 1. Let's give everyone a chance. I see it. I see it. Yeah? What'd you find?
I found.
No. Leonidas, I did not call on you. Hey, what'd you find?
I
What'd you find?
haven't got it yet. I thought.
Why'd you give me an ooh?
No. I thought you were gonna say what would happen to Taylor.
Yeah, one thing at a time. Lorelai, what'd you find?
Despite some warnings about the tropical storm off the south coast, priorities were headed to the shore.
Absolutely. I found that one too. Y'all, I underlined this, and I know masks can sometimes impede how we sound. Despite some warnings about a tropical storm off the southern coast, the Brownings, their last names, were headed to the shore. That's the one I liked. Yes, ma'am?
I also found another one.
Oh, in paragraph 1.
Yes. The months following Taylor's father's departure for the overseas duty had been stressful for the Brownings.
Yeah, this could pose a problem. What are we going to do without Dad around? Yeah? What are we going to do without him, Cammie?
I underlined the first part, like Taylor's mom had some vacation days, so it was decided. Then I underlined this part.
Despite the warnings. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say that wet baking soda, if you put it on a Band-Aid, it works really fine to get out of splinter.
I love the old school medicines. All right, y'all, look at part B. I'm still on page 18. Put a star next to 2 details that you would include in a summary of the first page of the story. We want to put a star beside 2 details that you think are important enough that really tell the story, that gives us the summary.
On the whole page.
Okay, try it again in a little bit, okay? You don't have to ask, just go and try.
On the whole page.
Only on page 18, I want you to look for 2 sentences that really summarize everything for us. You know, right now, the exciting thing about this is the hurricane. I'm just saying, I would stick with hurricane information if that's helpful. I realize you're looking through a whole bunch of sentences. Yes, sir, can I help you?
I don't have a draw a liver or star. Can I just do an honest one?
Oh, sure, but that's something you should practice. Did everybody find in at least one?
I found them.
You found 2?
Yes.
You found 2? Did you find 2?
I did find 2, but I have one question about the story.
Oh, sure.
Do we know what category this hurricane is?
They have not said. They have only said it was supposed to go north, and this is, and it veered, it turned, and is coming right toward us. Did you find 2? Did you find 2?
I found 2.
Found 2.
I found 1.
Found 1 is great.
I need 2.
This is a hard task. This one's a time taker. When it comes to, though, right now, paragraph either 1 or 2, and paragraph 1 or 2 only, who found one that you would have put a star by in paragraph 1 or 2 only? Griff?
It's the same one that we underlined. Despite the warnings of a tropical storm off the southern coast, the Brownings were headed to the shore.
Griffin, I completely agree. It's exactly the one that I put a star by. I put a star by, despite some warnings, about a tropical storm off the southern coast, the Brownings were headed to the shore. So that means we've got that sentence underlined, and now we got a star by it. Okay? I agree with that one. That's the one that I have. But it looks like we have some other ideas when it comes to paragraph 1 or 2. So let's hear them. Lorelai?
Taylor reported spending some time with her grandfather.
Oh, then therefore you're focusing on the summary of the vacation. Yeah, the vacation part. But I'm telling you, this hurricane, all right? We really want the star by the despite, okay? Because I believe the hurricane's going to make more news than our vacation where we are going to tie some knots. So while we're hearing the other ideas, does everybody know that you should have the despite sentence underlined in paragraph 1, and that's the one that you want to star by, okay? But we'll take a moment and hear these other suggestions, but everybody, they're suggestions, okay? Griffin?
I also found another one in number 1. The month following Taylor's father departed for overseas duty had been stressful for the Browning family.
Okay, but so far, this story is not just about her dad going overseas. So do make sure that you have the star by the sentence that is underlined and begins with despite. Yes, Mac?
I put, now it seems to be veering due west directly toward the bay.
Okay, now Matt, we're only on paragraphs 1 and 2, so hold that thought. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I was gonna say mine is number 3, but I'll wait till
Oh,
we get here.
wait, we're only working 1 and 2. Leonidas?
I found 2 and 1 and 2. So,
Needs to be 1 then.
Yeah.
And I hope 1 was despite.
okay, I found both of them, and the other one, the one that they thought was despite is they both love the sea, and he'd been teaching girls how to sail.
Okay, but once again, that's if the whole story is going to be about both of them loving the sea and him, Grandpa, teaching her how to sail. Remember, our vacation has just been interrupted by a hurricane. And I'd like to show you the title of the story again.
Hurricane.
The title of the story is Hurricane Taylor. So, my people, while the suggestions were fine, the answer is to have a star by the despite some warnings about a tropical storm, okay?
There's 2.
Now, I understand. Mac, take us to paragraphs 3 and 4 and tell us which other one you have a star by in either paragraphs 3 or 4.
I have 1 and 3 and 1 and 4.
I need the 1 and 3.
Now it seems to be veering due west directly toward the bay.
Boom, that's the one I got. So everyone, how can you summarize what's about to happen in this story that is called Hurricane Taylor, by the way? We're going to put a star by in paragraph 1 and listen to them together. Despite some warnings about a tropical storm off the southern coast, the Brownings were headed to the shore. Then go down to paragraph 3. Now, very last sentence, it seemed to be veering due west directly toward the bay.
And then also,
Nope, wait. That's what you need. Okay? That's what you need. Those 2 sentences from paragraphs 1 and 3, that's what's going to summarize this story. It's a vacation without our dad that's fixing to go wrong because of a hurricane. Otherwise, it would be fun on a sailboat with Grandpa, as far as the title goes. I learned how to tie a knot. You know what I mean? It's not. It's called Hurricane Taylor. All right? So does everybody get that those are the 2 that need to have a star by them? All right, look at page 19 and let's work. This might be easier. Now I'm going to give them a chance to work it, unless you need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, okay. All right, go to C. I need for you to underline the sentence in paragraph 5 that describes the first step Taylor takes to help out. Everyone take a look inside of paragraph 5, and you're going to underline the sentence that describes her first step when she's helping out. Did you have a question for me?
Well, it's kind of say something. In paragraph 5, it doesn't have it, but in paragraph 6, it does.
No, paragraph 5 has one. I promise, I found it.
Could you sharpen my pencil? It broke. Like the
It just broke on you.
no the letter.
Whoa, it really broke. Yeah, just stick with paragraph 5. I promise it's there. Paragraph 5 mentions the first thing that she did to definitely help out. Yes, ma'am.
Can I get to get the doors out? That was
Yeah. That's taking forever.
Wait, I have a
When
question.
she gets back, can I use
Yes,
that?
ma'am. Yes, sir.
I have a question about the story.
Uh-huh.
Wasn't there a hurricane called Hurricane Taylor?
I feel sure. In history, yeah.
Now the hurricanes have weird names.
Well, yeah.
No, it goes boy, girl, girl, boy, girl.
And in
boy.
alphabetical order. Yeah. Hey, paragraph 5. Check your work. Let me check our time.
Is Taylor the girl?
So here's what I want to do. I just want to tell you which one. In paragraph 5, I hope that you underlined the second sentence. In the meantime, Grandpa and Taylor secured the storm windows. Very good. Very good. That is the very first thing that she did to help. Now look at D. D says to underline the sentence that tells you what happened in paragraph 10. Underline the sentence that tells you what happened in paragraph 10. I find that to be a very odd question, but go to paragraph 10, Buzz.
So what do we have? So we underline the thing that would happen in paragraph 10.
Can I reword that for you? Here's how I would word it. Go to paragraph 10, and I want you to underline the horrible thing that happened in it. I do not like the way they worded that. Yeah? What is the big deal about paragraph 10? There's another way to word it. Yes, ma'am.
Are you cold?
I am a little chilly. I have been running around all over the place, like setting up cameras for other people, and then I taught actually a class of the opposite end of campus. So I was sweating something fierce, but I'm right cold right now, gotta tell you. Hey, your big deal in paragraph 10. Now we're gonna try to get some more work done. Did you underline in the dim light she saw her grandpa on the floor, which right there, I mean, I am just scared to death if that ever happened. He's gripping his ankle, his face is frozen in a painful grimace.
That's what I underlined.
It was just, I think, more helpful to reword that question. It was oddly worded. I'm glad you feel the same way. Yes, ma'am.
May I go to the bathroom?
Yes. All right, let's go to page 20. Cammie was the last to read for us. So, Chase, would you read 11 and 12 for us, please? We are on page 20. Let's find out what's wrong with Grandpa.
Got so dark, all of the sudden it rained. I tripped over something. Taylor,
I forgot the
No.
verse.
what is that one? Taylor knelt.
Knelt. Yeah, when you kneel, that is the past tense of I kneel today, I'm kneeling right now, I knelt yesterday.
I knelt next to him. Is your mom back at her glass? Before she could answer, there was a crunch and gravel outside. Ellie and Lily came rushing to the kitchen door, squealing with delight. It's a big one, Ellie yelled. They said on the radio, that is a hurry.
It's a hurrying. It might be mispronouncing something here. Is this the first time we get the two little girls' names?
Yes.
I believe so. We have Taylor, of course, as our older girl, and now we have Ellie and Lily. All these girls have super cute
So
names.
instead of
Yes, sir. What is it?
At the end of class, can I tell you my story?
Yes, I told you that you could, but we got some work to do. All right, Lorelai, will you take us to paragraphs 13 and 14, please? Well, we need to get some work done. But, but Mac, honey, unless you need to go to the bathroom, we need to get some work done, okay? All right, Lorelai, give me some 13 and 14, girl.
Taylor left the kids home. Taylor smiled and laughed. It's a hurricane, silly. Why don't we go to their room and get a spell going? They spent the next couple of hours preparing. In the eerie glow of the oil lamps, Taylor kept Ellie and Lily busy with small tasks. They kept small padded piles waiting on all the while. Meanwhile, Mom used the gas stove to cook a stew big enough to last us for a kingdom.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you, when we have a category 3 or more coming our way, I am going to start cooking whatever that we could actually eat for a few days, because we have a gas stove too, so when your power goes out, you can still use gas. You just have to light it with a lighter or a long little lighter thingy, which sure it has a proper name. But are you seeing where Taylor, just like Logan, is trying to keep these little girls busy? Yeah? We have light by an oil lamp, which is so 1800s, y'all, but kind of cool. Yeah? And she's just trying to keep the little ones okay and busy. Mom's cooking. Grandpa, bless his heart, fell over something. Yeah? Yes, ma'am.
My grandmother has 2 oil lamps and one of those really old. And I think this and has like 2 oil lamps that work and one that doesn't. That looks like this.
That's cool. Hey, Faith, we didn't mean to skip you. You were just out of town at the time, I mean in our room. Could you read, if they're so super small, could you read 15 through 18? Because it's people talking at each other.
After nightfall, there was nothing to do but hunker down. Taylor's grandpa had to bed down on the couch. His twisted ankle hurt too much to walk on. The announcer's voice suddenly blared on the radio. "What does Category 1 mean, Grandpa?" Ellie asked. "It means a baby hurricane," he replied.
I was fixing to say it means it's kind of nothing. Y'all, there we go. Who asked? It's Category 1.
It rings.
It's a Category 1, okay? It's rain and winds, all right? Now, we're going to jump way back there, Ella, to you. Could you read 19 and 20 for us, please, sweetie?
But it didn't feel like a baby anything. The cottage groaned and rattled. Taylor could barely sleep all night, worried about the noise and what it meant. At dawn, Taylor peeked outside and saw the truth. They were on an island now.
That is odd. She saw the truth. They were on an island now. Like, what happened? Wouldn't you have known that before? Okay, Mac, let's solve this weirdness, please. Go, read 21 for us.
How did you 22 since you're really short too?
No, I've got you on 21, please, Mac. Thank you.
A torrent of water separated the split of land. The cottage sat on from the mainland, and yet the sky was clear and screeching bright blue, with barely a cloud. There were in the eye of the storm a calm period before the storm began again. The rickety dock was now nowhere to be seen.
Remember the sailboat that was tied to the rickety dock? The dock just went bye-bye. Okay? And there's been what they call a storm surge, and that's when the water starts rising and they're on a bay. So suddenly, they are on an island. They are cut off from that mainland because the seawater started rising. Hey, let's go to, let's split this up. Griffin, would you do 22 and 23, and then we can, oh, wait, no. Darn, Cage, your book's not in yet, so I'm going to get you a copy. Griff, finish up 21 for us, would you please? Which, page 21. So you'll be doing paragraphs 22 through 24.
Soon everyone was up. "Phone's out," Taylor's mom said. She added in a low voice. The young girls couldn't hear. "Looks like we're on our own then." The words had a hollow sound. There were 2 other cottages underneath the split, but neither was occupied. Taylor knew someone had to get help. But was there time? Hey, Grandpa, there's a gas station across the bay. You think we could sail the boat? I'll do all the labor.
Okay, but wait a minute. That's what's confusing me. Didn't she look out the window and not see the dock?
Yeah, but the boat would have floated.
Floated somewhere? Okay. Because we did tie the sailboat up to the dock. Right?
Dory's nonsense.
So it would still be there. The dock
Sure.
would be underwater, and it would be floating.
Ah, and then when it went underwater, got you. Got you. I got you. All right, got to do some work because we definitely don't want to do this at home. Go to page 20. Got another A here. A on page 20 says, how does Taylor react to what Ellie yells in paragraph 12? Now, it's specific. Underline a sentence in paragraph 14 that provides evidence that Taylor is responsible and mature. Okay?
May I get tissue?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I already underlined that.
Okay. Let's give them some changing. You know, I have to complain again about what the book's asking you to do. You do note that it's asking you to do 2 things, but it doesn't quite tell you what to do with the first thing. So put the mask on correctly, please, Kate. with how does Taylor react to what Ellie yells in paragraph 12? They don't tell you what to do with it, so we do tend to like underlining. Let's just go ahead and address this problem now. And I think, Chase, you read this for us. They said on the radio that it's a hurricane. And then if you go to 13, Taylor smiled and laughed. You mean it's a hurricane? The little girls, Ellie and Lily, are so young that they mispronounced hurricane. They said it's a hurricane. There's a fancy pants term for that. It's called a malapropism. When you mean to say something, but you accidentally say something else. Yeah? Have y'all ever heard the phrase, it's a jungle out there?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I've heard people accidentally say, I don't know if I want to go out there. It's a jumble out there.
Jumble.
So the malapropism is you meant to say jungle, you accidentally said jumble. She accidentally says a hurricane when she really means to say a hurricane. So it's actually a literary term, and it's called malapropism, and it's named after a character from back in Shakespeare's time that he did not come up with. His best friend did, Ben Jonson, and her name was Mistress Malaprop. And Mistress Malaprop always said the wrong thing. But y'all, when people always say the wrong thing, it can be the funniest thing ever. Ever. Okay? Can we take a look at what you did underline in paragraph 14 that provides evidence that Taylor is responsible and mature? Lorelai, what did you underline in paragraph 14?
Ellie and Lily busy with small tasks, kept the small battery powered radio on the line also.
Yes, I think, all right, wait, let's make sure everyone got that. Taylor kept Ellie and Lily busy with the small tasks. And I agree with Lorelai that they kept the small battery-powered radio on all the while. But the thing that we know that Taylor did, just like Logan, she was taking care of the two younger ones. Chase, do you have anything to add to A? Because I really need to go to B right now. We don't want homework. Okay, huh? Chase, I think you've already been. Okay, let's wait. For B, circle the sentence in paragraph 20. Circle the sentence in paragraph 20 that explains what happened overnight. So let's go to 20. Oh, come on, yo. Honestly, there's only one sentence.
So easy.
Can we just look at this as a grammar nerd right now? Look at this. You know you have a sentence when it ends with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. So I only see one period. The other piece of mechanics, yeah, like little dotsy, squiggles, whatever. The other piece of mechanics that I see in that sentence is a colon, which either means you about to tell me the time, right? Or I'm fixing to list something for you. Everyone, I'm really having a problem with the directions in the story. Yo, what I'm trying to say is paragraph 20, where they want you to underline one sentence or circle whatever they're asking. There's only one sentence. Y'all, did you get it wrong?
No.
Y'all, this is the sentence for paragraph 20. At dawn, Taylor peeked outside and saw the truth, keep the sentence going. They were on an island now, period.
I got it wrong on this day.
You missed it.
I got it so
Did you miss it?
I see there's only
Circle the sentence in paragraph 20. Cool, there's only one. Now,
I'm so
as a grammar nerd, can I just tell you something? I'm really glad the author did not give me this story to grade, because I would mark up that sentence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all wrong. You gave me a colon, you didn't give me a list, and then you capitalized the T. What were you thinking? Yes.
If someone says something wrong, I couldn't even have a speech impediment.
Oh, yeah. That is true. But there is actually a literary term for when you really want to put some comedy in your story. Have people say the wrong word. It's the funniest thing ever. It works. Like, there's some classic comedy techniques. All right, last thing for today, because remember, we're not going to do homework, right? Look at C. Put a box around details in paragraph 21, very specifically, only paragraph 21, that suggest the danger the family is in. Any details you see, just put them in a box.
I did it.
Wait, what did you say?
Only go into paragraph 21. Put a box around any word, phrases, or a sentence that tells you the family is in danger. What did you find, Leah?
I found they were in the eye of the storm. Okay?
Eye of the storm. We as Southerners, because we're in Hurricane Alley, know what that means.
Yes.
You only think it's quiet for now. The worst is yet to come.
You know-
What did you do? Yes, ma'am.
The rickety dock is now here.
Yeah. We look out the window, and the rickety dog is nowhere. It's gone.
Bye-bye.
It's been
Bye-bye.
yoinked. It's been
What
yoinked.
did you find, Cammie?
Explore.
Oh, hush, please. Let me hear Cammie.
What does that keyword say at the beginning?
Torrent.
A torrent of water separated the spit of the land, the cottage that one from the main.
I did that one too.
Yes.
I did those, and I did that one as well.
Yes.
Y'all, a torrent. Right now, the 6th grade has an antonym that they're studying for their vocabulary. The antonym of torrent is a trickle, a little bit. But a torrent, you can't keep up with this amount. And a torrent in this story is the amount of rain. But a torrent or a trickle doesn't always have to deal with weather and water. You can have days where we just give you a trickle of homework, right? And then you might have other days where you have a torrent of homework. So a torrent means a lot of something. Yeah, typically water. And a trickle means a little bit of something. And once again, yeah, probably water. But you can use it when you have a lot or a little of anything. Okay? All right, let's check our time. And we're good here. So, I understand, but here's what I got to tell you. We've done the citing of the evidence. So tomorrow when we get in, we're going to take a look at the comprehension check, okay? That's what we have not gotten to. And I am still going to have to give y'all some dog commands on heel when you want to tell me a story, because I would have liked to have gotten, quite honestly, to the comprehension check today. All right? So we'll do that, take a look at it first thing. It'll be great. We'll make it a positive. We will actually be refreshing our memory of what we read today. Then, if you notice, we'll be getting into only page 22 and the very tippy top of page 23 tomorrow. It's quite a short part of the story. We'll, of course, be doing the citing the evidence, and then we'll have another comprehension check to do tomorrow. Okay? All right, yes, Parker?
I have one question.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I dropped something in Miss Clark's.
Didn't they say that they put the boat underneath the dock?
No, they tied it to a pile on the dock. Yes, Chase?
Can I tell you my story now?
Very quickly, because our time's running out.
So I was at this school game and it was a party from one of my friends
Uh-huh.
and
Fine.
it was his brother's football